Without further ado, hello everyone, and welcome to WooStream, where we're bringing Willamette to you. Thank you for joining us for tonight's Parent and Family Forum. My name is Tiffany Newton, and I'm the Director of Alumni and Parent Engagement here at Willamette. This evening session will focus on graduate education across Willamette University and will highlight our dual degree and graduate programs. Our fantastic panel of key Willamette administrators will be moderated by Leah Straley, and I'm excited to introduce her this evening. Leah is Dean of Graduate Admissions for Willamette. Prior to this appointment, she served as the Assistant Dean of Admissions at the College of Law since 2019. During her time at Willamette Law, she implemented new strategies to improve student quality and diversity while consistently exceeding goals in a highly competitive environment. Leah, thank you for helping organize this event tonight. And as always, your moderation skills are much appreciated, and I will hand it off to you now.
All righty. Thank you very much, Tiffany. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's always exciting when we get to talk about our graduate programs. As Tiffany said, my name is Leah Straley. I am the Dean of Graduate Admissions. My role is new at the university. It is part of Willamette's strategic plan, and our Office of Graduate Admission is now under our enrollment management umbrella. I've been in this role for just over a year, and as Tiffany said before that, I was at the law school for roughly 4-ish years or so. So tonight I am excited to introduce our panelists to you. They will be giving you a broad overview of their graduate programs, and we'll also be spending a little bit of time talking about our dual degree programs. So these allow students to save time and money by combining a bachelor's degree and a graduate degree in a reduced amount of time. So you'll hear about some of those programs from our graduate schools that offer those. For our dual degree students who are interested in pursuing a dual degree, the application begins during their junior year. So just keep that in mind for all of your students. So we'll begin right now. We are going to first hear from our MBA program. Tony Castenario is the Director of Recruitment, and he will be chatting with you a little bit about our MBA programs. So Tony, if you will introduce yourself, and then you can dive right into your slides.
Perfect. Thank you, Leah. So hello, everyone. My name is Tony Castenario. I'm the Director of Recruitment for the MBA programs here at Willamette University. And I'm excited tonight to talk to you a little bit about our dual degree programs, as well as just in general, our MBA program. And so first off, on this first slide, I just kind of wanted to show, where we're located. Obviously, Salem, Oregon is our main campus, but the MBA program also has a campus up in the Portland area as well. And that's unique to our students because a lot of our students in the second year in their MBA program will actually work their jobs around their class schedules, and they can take courses up in the Portland Center. So that's why I put this slide on here. And then I just wanted to kind of introduce our programs to you guys. So the first one that we're really highlighting tonight is that dual degree 3+2 BA MBA program. And like Leah said, this is a really unique program to Willamette because students can come in and major in any major minus the business major. That's the one major they can't major in and do this program and we can talk about that, but essentially, if you get a business major, we have a 4-1 where you can do a 1-year MBA, and that's kind of B here on this slide. And so, but the 3-2, if a student comes in, you do not have to declare your major typically till the end of your sophomore year. And so students oftentimes are undecided when they come to Willamette, and the beauty about our MBA program and the 3-2 is that we accept all majors minus that business major. And that means that students don't have to know exactly what they want to do, even that they want to do this dual degree right from the start. Because like Leah had mentioned, you don't have to apply to the 3-2 until your junior year. So it allows for a lot of flexibility, but we do encourage students early on, if they're remotely interested in a program like this, to go meet with their academic advisor, mention things like this, so they can get on a credit requirement basis that we need, where they're planning things out. They can do it right from the jump when they get here their freshman year, or even at the end of their sophomore year, to really kind of plan out what they need to finish up to put themselves in a good position to do the 3-2. So the 1-year MBA, so the 4-1, that's another program that we have. So if students come in and they decide they want to declare as a business major, the 4-1 is a perfect program for them if they still want an MBA degree. Both the 3-2 and the 4-1, the real benefits of those kind of dual combined degrees is that you're shaving off a year of traditional grad school, because traditionally you're doing 4 years of your undergrad plus another 2 years to finish your MBA. So whether you decide to do a business major and the MBA, there's the 4-1 program where you can go for 5 years, or you want to major in sociology, psychology, biology. We get all majors. You can do the 3-2. And then we have our traditional 4-2 program. So students that maybe don't know that they want to do a dual degree, or maybe they did plan it a little bit too late, but they still want their MBA. We have the traditional 4-2. You finish your undergrad in 4 years, you can still join our MBA program. So whether you're doing the BA MBA or you're doing the traditional 4-2 or you're a 4-1, we actually have some built-in scholarships already available. Seniors, traditionally, it's been about a $20,000 automatic scholarships, whereas 3-2 students, they're actually going to be getting a percentage of their, it's kind of a long process, but essentially we take a percentage of their merit scholarship that they're receiving for undergrad, we apply it to the business program. And then the other joint programs that we offer, and you'll hear from some of these programs in a few minutes, is our MBA MSDS program, as well as our JD MBA. So students can actually come in and, again, they can major in something completely unrelated to MBA, and in some cases unrelated to some of those other programs, and still get what they want at the end of the day. And then we also, I just put it on here, we have a part-time MBA. So some of you may go on our website and say, well, what is this MBA for professionals? So the full-time MBA ECCC, that stands for Early Career and Career Change, and that's for our students that are coming right out of undergrad. The MBAP, or MBA for Professional, is more of an executive type program. So could be an alum of Willamette, could be anybody who's been in the workforce for 3 or more years that wants to come back and get their MBA. That's what that's really about. So we can go to the next slide here, Tiffany. So why Willamette MBA? Why would a student want to come here to Willamette? So we are the #1 ranked MBA program in the state of Oregon. We're #2 in the Pacific Northwest, and we're ranked typically in Business Week, Forbes, Post and Quant's, Princeton Review every year. And there's about 5,000 MBA programs worldwide, and we're every year in the top 100. I think right now we're in the top 70s or whatever it is. So when you're looking at all the top MBA programs in the country, Willamette is definitely right in that mix. Excellent program, excellent faculty. What I would tell you is that traditionally Willamette has been, when it first started, it was the School of Management, and then it changed to the MBA program. And when we changed, we really ended up getting that AACSB accreditation and NASPA accreditation. So we're one of only 2 MBA programs in the country that has this dual accreditation program. AACSB is really the accreditation for profit. So if you look at what all the big schools like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, all their MBA programs, they all have the AACSB accreditation. It'd be, and I have law represented here, and they're going to tell you if you want to go to law school, they got to be bar certified, all that. Well, in the MBA program, it's AACSB. That's the gold standard. And this NASPA accreditation, this is really the not-for-profit and for government work accreditation. And usually students that are interested in an MPA or an MPP, a Master's in Public Administration or Public Service, you wouldn't really pair that with an MBA. Normally students are told you got to go get, if you want to do public service, you want to work for the government, you go get your MPA or your MPP. But that's not the case here at Willamette. We actually take a cross-sectoral approach. So we are dual accredited, again, one of only 2 universities in the country that offer that. And that makes us unique. So students can come into a school like Willamette, get our MBA, and they can dabble across different sectors. They can work for the government, federal government, state government, not-for-profits, go work for a large company, small company, start their own company. Transferable skills. You will learn transferable skills. And part of that is that cross-sectoral approach. The transferable skills that we teach are going to be a combination of soft skills and hard skills. Soft skills being your communication skills. How do you pitch yourself? How do you pitch what you're trying to present to your clients, your boss? And then your hard skills would be more of your analytical skills, your data, your quant, finance, accounting, the language of business. We talk about knowing accounting and finance and economics. That's really the language of business. So these transferable skills you can use across many sectors. We have nurses and doctors that have come back to get their MBA. We have biology majors come get their MBA. So these skills, when you're talking about leadership and management, can be applied across any sector in business, in any business. Building professional experience. So when you come to a program, when students come to this MBA program, we have what's called experiential learning or consequential learning courses built into the program. So students are going to gain experience while they're in the program. They're not expected to have a lot of work experience, if any at all, when they get here. They're going to gain that in their classes, and they're also going to be pushed to go get an internship. So all of our dual accredited, our dual degree seeking students, they have to go get an internship while they're in our program, which is also going to help build their resume. And then salary potential. I mean, the MBA is still the gold standard. You're looking for, jobs that pay in that six-figure salary range. The MBA is still the degree that people are seeking for those types of jobs. So we can go ahead and go to that next slide, Tiffany. And so it pays to be a Bearcat. Benefits, right? So we talked about being the #1 ranked MBA program. I talked a little bit about how that scholarship, that students that are actually at Willamette right now as undergrads, when they apply to that BA, MBA, how they can transfer basically a percentage of that scholarship. We can transfer that over to our tuition, and we can get into the weeds with that as we talk to students or if there's other questions at the end of this. But that's a huge bonus because you're really saving on that 1 year's worth of tuition, and you're going to get a guaranteed scholarship. And students that apply to this dual degree program, they have, they're what we call test optional. They do not have to take an entrance exam to get into the program. We say it's optional because if they decide to take it and they score really well, we can tack on to their scholarship. And if a senior at Willamette decides to come and get our MBA, we have also made that test optional for students as well. If you're applying and you're not a Willamette student, all those students have to take the exam. So there are some big benefits there for students. And when I just kind of threw up some of the application checklist materials here, our application process is free. If a student had to sit down and do our application, literally it would take them about 1 hour and 15 minutes to finish this. And they don't have to do it all in one setting. We removed a lot of barriers so that the application process is not the big hurdle for students. Typically, the big hurdle for students is just getting the will to ask questions and jump in. And once they do, the process to apply is really simple. So we can go to the next slide because I don't want to hog all the time tonight. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but joining the Willamette community. So career management is built into our coursework. So parents that are out there going, well, my son or daughter has never had a job at all. So how are they going to, get a degree, then get their MBA and go out in the workforce at 23 or 24 years old and get hired? Well, we have a career management team that's built into some of this coursework. Students are being pushed to do real projects with real companies, and these experiential learning courses and consequential learning courses that we offer, some of them deal with real money, large amounts of money. We fly students to different cities across the country in some of these investment classes that we have. And so it's a chance to really get some experience. It's a chance to learn under professionals. And the program is designed where people can come in and we expect them to not have that experience, but we're constantly pushing them with our career management team to get experience from day one. No longer is it, hey, we're going to wait till the end of your second year, let's go find an internship. It's not like that. It's the minute they step through the door. And even before then, we're doing resume building, mock interviews. We take our students on track. So everything is designed to get our students out the door and into a career as soon as possible and to compete against people that have been in the industry for 5, 10, 15 years. So if we can go to that next slide. So this is my last slide, and I just kind of wanted to show a little bit of the curriculum because there was a question that we got before the webinar tonight, and it was asked about, hey, I have a son who is taking classes right now at CAS, and I noticed the MBA program has a student-managed fund where there's real money. It's called our O'Neill Investment Fund. Can he get that in the undergrad? And the answer is no. This is unique to our MBA program, and students will only get that particular class and some of these other experiential learning classes within our program. But if your your son or daughter is interested in something like that, even if they're going a different path right now, but they still want to look at that MBA, we can talk to them about those classes and how to get in. So I've taken up enough of everybody's time. I want to give others a chance, but I really appreciate it. And I look forward to all the questions, and we hope you decide to apply. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, Tony. Moving on, and feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we can get to those at the end of the presentation tonight. So next up, we have our College of Law. Jessica Cleaver is our Assistant Dean of Admission. And Jessica, if you can introduce yourself and then dive into your slides.
Wonderful. Thank you, Leah. It's nice to have you all join us this evening, and I'm excited to share a little bit about our law school and all the different things that we have to offer here in Salem. So if I can get to the next slide. So just a little bit about me. I'm also our pre-law advisor. So that is for our current students and then also for our alumni as well. So there's all of our departments in the law school are small. So there's about 3 to 4 staff in each department, and there's 3 of us in admissions, which makes it really nice because you're able to get to know everybody and everybody will know you. So you're not just a number. So we're able to really kind of customize everything. Some of you might wonder, what does law school teach? And law school teaches students how to think critically and logically. We also teach you how to think on your feet. So we use what's called the Socratic method, and you randomly get called on in class. And it's just a really great teaching tool to help students navigate through each of these critical and logical steps, and then being able to discuss it in class. We also teach you how to communicate effectively, how to work with others. We have lots of different group projects and different activities that help you understand how to deal with conflict, how to be persuasive, and basically, all of the different things that make up being a lawyer. So we help you to learn how to think and how to act like a lawyer. So some of the wonderful things about being in Salem is our state capitol is right across the street from us. So it makes it really nice and convenient, if you're interested in having some opportunities with internships or externships at the Capitol. It also just makes it really great if you're interested in listening, on different bills getting passed. I've sat in on Ways and Means Committee meetings, listen to our cell phone bill getting passed. So, you can just leave class, walk across the street, kind of see what's going on and then come on back. So that's really incredible for us. We've had some students in the past that have written bills and got to present on the House floor. We've also had students work on special projects with our past governor. So there's definitely lots of opportunities if that's something that you're interested in. Otherwise, we're within about a 2-block radius for all of our courts and then many state agencies and several law firms. So it's just definitely that powerful proximity that's parallel to many other places. So it also makes it great for adjunct professors. So we do have a few of those. And so they're working and coming across the street, teaching, and then going back to work. So you can get some real life experience and learning about things that are actually in real time happening now. Our signature strengths are in the areas of business law, public service, international law, advocacy, and health law. This is something kind of unique to us, so we call it signature strengths. Other schools call it focus areas. So if I can get the next slide, please. Along with our signature strengths, we have our signature programs. So with our signature programs, we have our 3+3 and our 4+3, which is under the umbrella of the Law School Bound program. So the 3+3 program is you'll attend undergrad for 3 years and save all of your elective credits and then use that for your 4th year, which would be our first year at the law school. So it does shave off a year in tuition and a year in time. So for those students that are really gung-ho and, for sure that they want to get that law degree, this is just a wonderful pathway for them to experience and jump into law school early and then also their career early as well. The 3+4 program is also a really wonderful program. And that's for students that are wanting to spend time and get their full 4-year experience at undergrad, but are still interested in law, and then come over for the other 3 years. So with that program, we have a $25,000 scholarship, as long as you're meeting the requirements with our median GPA and LSAT. So that is something unique to law, is that you do have to take the LSAT, which is administered through the Law School Admission Council, or the GRE. So either one of those tests work. And part of our programs as well is that we start meeting with you as a freshman. So that first week that you're coming onto campus, we're starting to contact you. And we're really excited to meet you and get to know you and hear about your interests in law. And so we just continue that conversation, either, all 3 years or all 4 years, and start meeting and planning out, what that looks like and timelines. And then when it comes to actually applying to law school, we sit down and go over your complete application, and help you through each of those pieces, because it can be a little bit daunting. But it's very exciting for us to be able to, get to know you as a freshman and then actually see you matriculate as a law student. So other programs we have is the JD MBA, which is a 3-1. So Tony spoke earlier about the traditional MBA, and that's a 2-year program. But with this, it shaves off a year. So you would start over at the law school and for your first year, and then their second year, you'd go to the MBA and then come back and finish 2 more at the law school. So it is also possible to add the MBA onto a 3+3 program as well. So there's lots of ways to customize your pathway and to get, obtain those different degrees that you're interested in. It's also possible to do study abroad. It just takes a little bit of extra planning, but you definitely can do that. And we've had quite a few students do that, and then also add on other degrees as well. We do have a master's in legal studies, which is a 1-year program. This is not a JD program. So, things that you can do as a lawyer, you are not able to do with this. But this master's in legal studies can be good, if you're wanting to work into HR or different things like that. So kind of just depends on what you're interested in. We're able to, talk that through and help you figure out what you would like to do. Other opportunities we have in law school is we have 2 different clinics. We have immigration and trust and estates. These are really cool programs. You get to work one-on-one with your clients. You get to do all the filing, all the paperwork, all the meetings. And then we also have a 2-way mirror. So you get to be on one side with your clients and your professors on the other side critiquing what you're doing amazing at, and then maybe ways you could approach something different. So you're getting all of those really great skills that you'll be using in your profession. We also have internships and externships. So an internship, you're just getting the experience, which is the difference between the externship, you're getting class credit with it, and you also are getting the experience. So internships and externships you can do obviously here in Salem, but you can also do them all over Oregon, and then, basically all over the US. And they're really great programs. So that when you're graduating with your Juris Doctorate, you actually know what you're doing, and you have a lot of experience to fall back on. Something I see that we don't have on here is moot court as well. So that's another really great program, which some of you will know as like mock trial. We have 6 different certificates, and you can actually get up to 2 of them. So you're not taking more classes, you're just taking the specific classes to satisfy in these areas. So we have law and business, dispute resolution, law and government, sustainability law, international comparative, and health law. So just depending on what you're interested in, if this is, 1 or 2 of the areas that you would like to add on, it is a nice resume builder, so that you have your Juris Doctorate, but then you have these specific areas that you've obtained the certificates. We have over 20 student orgs to get involved in. And our second week in law school, we have what's a student org fair. So you get to talk with anyone and everyone and figure out which student orgs you might be interested in learning more about and joining in. Some advice for students is do well in your studies. So, here at Willamette, we have a lot of reading and writing in undergrad, and take advantage of that. Do all of it. It'll help make you not only successful in your current studies, but also as a lawyer. If you can take a logic class, it's offered in our philosophy department. That also will help you in law school. Having some logic will help you in some class discussions, and then in some other areas as well. You want to make sure that you engage with your classes and get to know your professors. So your professors will be writing your letters of recommendation. So, figuring out which professors you connect with, and then start to share about your passion for law. And then also try to get some legal experience. So, the more experience that you get, the more that it kind of helps you decide, what you might be interested in or what you might not be. Keep your nose clean. So we have a character and fitness section. Before you make some decisions, think about that. And then our undergrad has a bachelor's arts in political policy law and ethics, which is a PPLE major. So, if you're interested in getting, kind of that under umbrella law degree, this would be the perfect fit for you. But overall in law school, we care more about what you're doing well, and what you're learning in your studies, but not in a particular area. So you can come into law school with a health background. You could come in with your business, music major, art major, just basically anything. And that's, I think, the most exciting thing about going into law is you can come with any background, and then we'll teach you how to think and act like a lawyer. So, two other quick things. All of our scholarships are merit-based, so it's going to go off your LSAT and your GPA. And then if you qualify for more, you automatically get more scholarship. And then our professors have office hours. So they love to meet with you, and they like to start meeting with you your first week of class and talking over theory and then life experience and things like that. We also have a really robust attorney mentor program, and we have peer-to-peer mentors as well, and then lots of other academic support throughout your 3 years at law school. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I love to talk to people, and I love to hear about your passion in law. So thanks again for having me tonight, and I hope you're enjoying the evening.
All righty. Thank you, Jessica. And for all the panelists, if you are open to sharing your email address, you can put that into the chat, I think. Does that work? All right. So you can put it into the chat, and then folks at home will be able to reach out and answer questions. So up next, we have Julie Noyes, who is our Assistant Director of Recruitment for our graduate programs at Pacific Northwest College of Art, one of our newly merged schools. So we are very excited about having PNCA on board. And when we merged, we got a host of other graduate programs. So Julie, if you don't mind introducing yourself and then heading into your slides.
Thanks so much, Leah. So my name is Julie Noyes. I am the Assistant Director of Recruitment for the longest titled program at Willamette. So I work for the Hallie Ford School of Graduate Studies at the Pacific Northwest College of Art at Willamette University. So that is the official program name. So if you want to move to the next slide, great. So what is PNCA? The Pacific Northwest College of Art was originally founded in 1909 as the Museum Art School. It was actually founded in the basement of the Portland Art Museum and was eventually renamed PNCA. We are located in the park blocks of the Pearl District in Portland, Oregon. We are located in the original post office for Portland. So our building is almost as old as our program is. In the graduate school, we have 7 graduate programs within Hallie Ford. We have a total of about a little under 650 students total at PNCA. The undergrad student to faculty ratio is 9:1, but in the graduate program, our faculty to student ratio is 1:1, and I'll go into that a little bit more. If you want to move forward to the next slide. So we offer quite a few programs of study at PNCA at the grad level. We are one of the few MFA programs left in Portland, so we are really at the top of our game here in Portland, Oregon. We offer 4 MFA programs, 2 of which are full residency programs where you spend your 2 years on campus. Those are our visual studies program and our print media program. The print media program is one of literally a handful of print specific MFA programs in the country. So it is a very unusual program. We also offer 2 low residency programs in creative writing and visual studies. Those programs are geared towards students that either can't or don't want to move to Portland, want to work from their home studio. It also allows you to, keep up your family life, your work life, and still be able to get your MFA in under 3 years. The biggest program that we have going for recent graduates is our postdoc program. The postdoc program is a 1, potentially 2-year residency program for students that are either interested in continuing their studio practice from their bachelor's degree, or maybe they're not quite ready for a master's and are looking for continuing their studio practice within the school, but also maybe prepping for continuing on with an MFA. We do offer an option to move directly from the postdoc program into our MFA program. So it is a great stepping stone to the next stage. We also have students that are just interested in gaining some additional knowledge about a particular subject, and they will do our postdoc in potentially animation or graphic design and really put it towards their career in those areas. In addition to our more studio-oriented programs, we also offer an MA in Critical Studies. The Critical Studies MA is really about exploring social conscious ideas, everything from feminism studies to environmental science, anything that's really kind of affecting the world around us. And we teach you to look at those issues in a more critical eye. We do offer the option of doing a dual program with one of our residency MFAs and the MA in Critical Studies. That program is a 3-year program, so it's basically a 2-year studio program with a +1 for the Critical Studies program. So those are the main programs that we're offering right now. You can push me to the next slide if you would. So the biggest thing for art students is really twofold. It's faculty and facilities, and that is what students want to know about what's going on at the school. So we have 2 main buildings for our campus. Our main building houses most of our 2-dimensional studios, and it also is where our undergraduate students spend most of their time. So we have everything from 2 and 3-dimensional animation studios. We have sculpture, photography. We have a creative technology department where you can learn creative coding. And we have one of the largest and well-equipped printmaking studios in the country. So a lot of people will come to us for that particular program. We also have numerous galleries on campus. Some of them are run for students specifically. We're also home to the Center for Contemporary Art and Culture for the city of Portland. So they have multiple gallery spaces in the university as well. We really do encourage students to show as early as their first semester on campus in our activities and really promoting a professional nature to the art programs at PNCA. We're also walking distance from dozens of additional galleries in the area, professional studios, and lots of places that our students can intern and work while they're in the program and get real life experience in the arts while they're in school. In addition to all of our studio space and everything that we're doing, we're also actively revitalizing the Portland's First Thursday initiative. We actually received a grant from the state, from the city of Portland to revitalize those really exciting art days that are the first of the Thursday of the month. So we offer shows and gallery openings. We also offer art walks when the weather is a little nicer. And we offer events throughout the city and on campus as well. So next slide. So really, for us, it is a network of options at PNCA. So even though we are primarily a studio-based art program, it is very professional practice oriented. As I said earlier, our student to teacher ratio at the grad level is 1-to-1. All of our programs are mentor-based. So we bring in professional artists and faculty members from across the country, internationally, and they work one-on-one with students throughout their program. So within our residency programs, you'll have 4 mentors over the 2 years. And in our low-res programs, because they're a little longer, you'll have 5 mentors over that time frame, which makes it a really unique program in the sense that you can learn new skill sets without taking a class by just working with a mentor who has professional skills in a particular medium or a particular area that you're interested in pursuing. We also make sure that our students are getting regular visits from their faculty. They have critiques every week. So there's a ton of professional feedback. In addition to the curriculum at the school, we also offer fellowship opportunities for students to apply for. We have everything from a curator fellowship. So if you're interested in getting into working in a gallery or working in a museum, when you graduate, you can apply for the fellowship where you'll be tasked for a year to do all of our gallery shows. We also have a fellowship tied with OMSI. So if your artwork is a little bit more science and technology oriented, you can do a fellowship with OMSI. We also have education and community service fellowships as well. We offer funding to students to go to conferences across the country, also internationally. If there's a retreat that you want to go to, we will help fund those opportunities as well. We also do international trips as a school, at least every year. So we really try to get the students out without having to spend a ton of money to get the opportunity to meet professional artists all over the world. All of our students are that get admitted are eligible for merit-based scholarships. Our merit-based scholarships are based on students' portfolio work and also their student statements. So what they're interested in pursuing, their writing ability, along with their work. We also have additional program-specific scholarships that are named scholarships from alumni donations. So you can apply to those as well. And then we have full tuition equity scholarships for students whose work tends to be a little bit more social and community justice oriented. You can apply for our full tuition equity scholarship. In addition to the studio practice, all of our students have a full studio on campus for the entire length of their program. We also bring in professional artists to do lectures throughout the year, to do shows that we can really bring in the outside world to Portland and allow our students to really have the ability to look at artwork that is going on all over the world. We are a very professional, practice-driven program, particularly in our print media program. Students are encouraged to get internships with local print shops. And we also have a program called the Watershed Project, where we bring in professional artists to work with our students, and they actually produce a series of prints with a professional artist over a semester. And we fund the program by selling the prints and making money back to put back into supporting students within the program. So that is a little bit about PNCA. We are so excited to be part of Willamette University and kind of be the more artsy side of Willamette. If you have any questions at all about our programs or would like to even just come on a first Thursday and look at our studios, we're an open book for everybody. And I'll put my contact information in the chat for you. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Julie. Alrighty, I've got my eye on the time, and we are moving on to Hillary Patterson, who is our Director of Recruitment and Corporate Outreach at our newest school at Willamette. So Hillary, if you will introduce yourself and then head to your slides. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Leah. It's thank you all for tuning in. I'm learning things about our programs too. This is really fun. So I get to work with our remarkable faculty and students in, like Leah mentioned, the newest school at Willamette, the School of Computing and Information Sciences. So this is the place where data science lives, as well as computer science, as well as statistics. So classes in machine learning or AI, you will find them with SCIS. Let's advance, please. So Tony mentioned the option for MBA students to do a joint degree with the MS in Data Science. I'm going to talk about our 3 additional programs. So the MS in Data Science 3+1, which is available only to Willamette undergrads, and then our new MS in Computer Science. So let's advance. So the MS in Data Science is a 1-year program, right? There are classes that meet in the evenings. It's only 3 classes per semester for 3 semesters. We start in August, we wrap up in August. It's 9 classes that has a really interesting, we've attracted a very diverse group of students to this program. About 50% of our students this year are from the working professional world. So people who are career changers or are looking to pivot into data, or maybe they've been sent by their employers to go gain some data proficiency in classes that meet in the evenings. And then about 50% are new grads. So, kind of the early career model that Tony was talking about, where people are adding it on to an undergraduate degree and really benefiting from that. like the other programs, we're very open to people from different backgrounds, right? I love to see students from economics or environmental science or sociology come in and join our data science program because there's data in all of these things, right? We offer an automatic scholarship of 20% for Willamette alumni. We've been very popular with alumni, as you can imagine, including new grads, including alumni who graduated maybe 15 or 20 years ago. We have alumni working in many, many different kinds of jobs. So we have one on the Call of Duty team at Activision. We have several at the state of Oregon for working for ODOT or the Department of Revenue. And this was a surprise to me. Last year, we had 26 graduates. 4 of them moved into PhD programs. So not the focus of the program, but just working with super smart, super driven people who are gaining a year of proficiency and then going out and doing cool stuff. The MS in data science is offered in either Portland or Salem. We have core classes in both cities. Let's go ahead and advance. So the 3+1, those of you who are parents, you may be familiar with this. Basically, it's a pathway where current Willamette undergrads can apply as juniors. They're usually computer science or data science majors, and we can potentially admit them into the graduate cohort as seniors. This becomes a very, very good deal for them. Basically, like I mentioned, it's a 3-semester program. So in the first 2 semesters, they're technically undergrads, right? They're finishing up their undergrad experience. They're also enrolled in these graduate classes at night. They're full-fledged members of our cohort, benefiting from industry relationships and career services and all that good stuff. They're also billed as undergrads, so they keep their undergrad tuition. In the summer that finishes the program, they're billed as graduate students. That's either 3 or 4 classes, and then they graduate with 2 degrees in 4 years, which is a little bit remarkable. Again, they can take classes in either Portland or Salem. So let's advance really quick. So here's an example of what the curriculum looks like in that +1 year, right? So the core classes in the fall, spring, and summer. The summer also includes a capstone course. This is part of the MSDS, where you get to do a small group project that's really a synthesis of all of the data science learning that you've been doing all year. You source your own data set. Sometimes you have an industry partner in this, and it's a really great experience for our students. And then we have all kinds of cool electives for students to enroll in, everything from advanced machine learning, cloud computing, Python programming, and next year we have some new options coming on with the CS degree too. Let's advance. So the MS in computer science I mentioned is a brand new program. I'm recruiting for it right now for our first fall start. So again, program that starts at the end of August. It can be completed in as few as 12 months. So a 1-year graduation, just like the MSDS. But we have the option for the MSCS. It's sequenced so that you can enroll for a longer amount of time and take 1 or 2 classes at a time. And it's a little bit more flexible. It's based in sequences rather than a particular linear course of study. We also offer a summer bridge class for non-CS majors. So if you've had some exposure to programming, but you're not ready to dive into a full-on graduate program for CS, we can help you get ready over the summer. And we'll evaluate people for the bridge as part of the admissions process. So that actually is a rare thing for an MS in computer science. Usually they're recruiting CS undergrads only. We are more open-minded than that. This is in line with the other programs, right? I just admitted a music major to the CS program, but he's a programmer out in the world with some really, really nice experience and a lot to bring into the program. So let's work together. Again, we're offering an alumni tuition discount of 20%, and we're going to share some of these computer science electives with our MSDS students. So there's some interesting cross-pollination happening between these 2 programs. I'll also throw in, I talked about the data science 3+1. There's a very strong interest in a computer science 3+1. So that's something that our faculty are working on developing. It's in final approval now. And we may pilot that as early as next year. So something that we're all really excited about. Okay, let's advance. So in terms of admissions timing, the MS in data science and the MS computer science require an undergraduate degree to be complete. We do not require any test scores. We don't have any admissions fee. Like the other programs, our applications are pretty straightforward. The MS in data science 3+1, you would work with me as a junior to secure your spot. And all of our SCIS advisors, it's really students within our program that are progressing through to the 3+1, they're all very aware of the requirements and they will keep you on track until you're ready to come in and join the graduate cohort. Okay, let's advance. Sorry, I know I'm talking very quickly, but I'm excited to get to some questions with everyone. Please reach out if I can help at all. Thank you.
Wonderful. And forgive me for that slight little hiccup. I get to play with all the screens. So again, this is your opportunity to ask questions. Please use the Q&A feature or put it in the chat. We're happy to go through those. We have asked a few folks and they're available to stay on a little bit past 7:30 so we can make sure that we get through that. Of course, we didn't want to rush anyone through their slides, but thank you all for talking quicker and quicker as we went. Again, this is recorded, so you're welcome to review it later and we will help you with that. I know, Hillary, if I may, one person just asked which summer it is that they finish up the 3-1 in data science, and if you could just specify if that's like between junior and senior year or right after May graduation.
Sure, it's after May graduation, so it's paced so that +1 year, fall and spring, you're in undergraduate mode, and then you receive your undergrad diploma at the end of May. And then you're in graduate land for the summer, enrolled in graduate classes only, finishing the MSDS at the end of that summer semester.
Thank you so much. And of course, we have another question about SCIS, and they're wondering how and when does a student get an SCIS advisor?
So advisors often are assigned in the sophomore year, right? So if you're a computer science or a data science major, you'll be matched up with an SCIS advisor.
Great. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And if I may, because I kind of rushed into a couple of the questions that we had and we're waiting for some other people to share them. Does anyone else have anything that they want to quickly add that maybe they skipped over in their presentation because they were going quickly, or that they want to touch on before we go to the other ones in the Q&A pocket?
The only thing that I kind of forgot to mention is that we offer advising opportunities for students that are interested in applying. So if students are worried about their portfolio, they can meet with faculty to go over their portfolios in a virtual format or in person, and it doesn't affect their ability to get in. It's just an opportunity for us to kind of let them know where they stand and feedback on their portfolio before they apply.
Thank you so much for that. One question I do have kind of for all of you is, we know so much that experiential learning, so learning while doing, being very active, working with professionals, sometimes actually having real money like the Anil Investment Fund, those kinds of things, working with real legal clients, working with Adobe or other actual clients on a data science project or that kind of thing is such a crucial part of a Willamette education, of a PNCA education, where that's more in the creative sector, in the business sector, in the legal sector. If you could kind of go around, Robin, and I'll start with Tony, could you just tell a story or touch on just briefly kind of one experiential learning or learning by doing example that you'd like to share? Because it's kind of a unique thing among a lot of our programs.
Yeah, so whether it's students have to take at least 2 classes in our program. One of them is actually mandatory right from the get-go, called PACE. And in this PACE course, that's where our career management team is built into the class. Students are actually doing, like I had mentioned, they're doing mock interviews, they're practicing their pitch for when they're going to go and interview for an internship or interview for a job. But they're also working like a 6-month-long project with a not-for-profit company. And so that's an example too of people that are interested in public service. And then some of these other courses are dealing with more for-profits. But in that PACE course, it's really unique because it's a year long. first half is really built on building up your resume, building up all these communication skills. And the second semester of your first year, that's when you're actually working this 6-month-long project. So you're actually getting in the weeds with the company, you're helping them with their company, and you're able to put this on a resume. And that experience is invaluable because those people will also be recommenders for students as they're looking at different positions. And so not just gaining experience, but the networking aspect, because it's not just what you know, but it's also who you know and who you know. So as they're helping you find your next, or helping you with your next move, it's nice to have multiple people in your corner. And those experiential learning courses will also help with the networking part as well. So hopefully that answers at least my part.
That was perfect. Thank you so much. Jessica, I'm going to go to you. I know law has quite a few opportunities.
Yeah. So during your first year in law school, our Office of Career Planning and Development does professionalism, and then mock interviews, real interviews, how to network, how to shake hands, how to dress professional and stuff. So that first year, we're really just setting you up for success. They're also helping you with your resume and cover letter one-on-one. So there's just lots of layers of support. Once you get into that second and third year, that's where you're going to really start gaining that real experience between your internships, externships, moot court, clinics. There's just a lot of different opportunities. Some of those can be paid or unpaid. And also you can start working your second year in law school. So students take advantage of doing lots of different opportunities. Also with that attorney mentor program that we have as well, they're helping you make lots of connections. So if there's someone that you're really interested, or a certain area that you're interested in making connections, they can help you with that. They also do some short-term and long-term planning as well with you, setting those goals and helping you be successful. And then also our Oregon State Bar is very active and well connected. So everybody knows everybody, and they start reaching out to you as a law student during that first month of law school. So everyone's excited, for your future, and just can't wait to help you progress and achieve those goals that you are really excited about.
Thank you so much. And one thing I will add on, because I used to work with the law school, is that they also have quite a few jurists in residence, folks who have served on the judiciary or are currently on the judiciary. And so there's a lot of clerkships as well if people want to go that direction with their career. I'm going to switch it over to Hillary now, and we'll see what happens in the computer and data science world.
So when I think about experiential learning, one of the things I think about is, the fact that I'm the person who has corporate outreach in my title, right? Like our classes meet in the evenings. So very often companies will send employees to come in and study with us. And there's an enormous benefit for early career and for 3+1 students to be surrounded by, the core of their data network is going to be in the classroom with them, right? And the funny thing is, it's the 3-1 students that everyone wants to work with because they're coming in with the super rich data experience. But yeah, they'll get to work with people from, just thinking about our last couple of classes, like Sony, Boeing, Liberty Mutual, Intel, Pearson, State of Oregon, like lots of really great contacts. It's also part of my role to introduce our students to the data community in Portland and beyond. So, we'll take students out to networking events and expose them to all different kinds of companies and different data applications. That happens in the capstone class too. We have speakers almost every week coming in to talk about how they use data in their organizations and the different places where data can live, which is always a very fascinating topic for us.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, Julie, I know you touched on it quite a bit with First Thursdays and all kinds of things, but if you could add a little bit more, that would be wonderful.
Well, I think it's interesting because being part of an art school, people think, what kind of career focus could we have? But it is a very professional development program. We've had students from our grad programs get positions from internships with Nike, with in the design department, in the marketing department. We've had students move into Leica, which is the stop motion film company here in Portland. We have alums that, through their connections through the school, are now running print shops in New York City and running their own companies. And we had one student who worked with Gamblin, which is a paint, local paint company here in Portland, and they made a watershed gray color that was named for our PNCA department. So it's there's a lot going on that we really want to have students develop into professional artists. And then the other kind of avenue for a lot of our students is they end up working in higher education themselves. So we have a lot of students that will do TA-ships while they're at the school and then go on to be full professors at other universities and colleges across the country.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to hand it over to Leah, and then we'll do last thoughts and a roundup unless any other question comes through.
Sure. Thanks, Tiffany. Just a few takeaways from me that I wanted to share. We hit on the experiential learning, so thank you, Tiffany. I also want to mention that in the Willamette tradition, we are also very close-knit communities within our graduate program. So these are all small programs where students, I think you heard a little bit from all of the recruiters, that these are students who are engaged every day with the faculty and the staff on campus. And there is a lot of room for creativity with our students, a lot of room for ideas that they want to bring to the classroom and perhaps pursue those further. And we can do that because we're small and the student faculty ratio is usually quite nice. And that allows students to have those relationships with their faculty members. Networking is incredibly important in all of these programs. So I think everyone touched on networking. And the last thing I just wanted to mention is that all of these folks that have been speaking tonight, we talked a little bit about some advising that happens on campus with our Willamette students, but these folks in front of you today are really interested in talking to all students, but especially Willamette undergraduate students. So we don't want Willamette undergraduate students to feel like they can't step onto the graduate school buildings or campuses. So, these people in front of you really do want to chat with students, really help them navigate where, which program is the best fit, where do they see themselves, what kind of career goals do they have, and is this a program that might help them get to those career goals? So just for everyone to keep in mind that the folks in front of you here do quite a bit of advising with students and are happy to do that and chat with students. So that's all I have as last thoughts, Tiffany. Wrap up.
Of course. Yeah. Absolutely, especially because, professors become professors for a reason. They love to share in students' enthusiasm for their area of work, and surprising someone, grabbing a coffee in Rick's or something on campus can be a wonderful way of making that connection. So I will offer up to the group last thoughts, starting with Tony and then kind of going down the line, and then we will thank you all for joining us this evening and let you on with your evening. So Tony, take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much again. We really appreciate you being here. And as Leah and Tiffany mentioned, we would love to talk to any students that are interested and go over any questions you may have. And parents, feel free to call me as well. I've already had some parents calling throughout the week. So please get in touch anytime. And we've shared our contact info, and all of our information is also on the website. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jessica.
I would just like to second Tiffany, Leah, and Tony. We'd love to just chat with you at any point when you're, any questions that you have, you can reach out via email. We can schedule a time to sit down and visit, or if you would like a tour as well, we're happy to do that as well. So thanks again. It was great to have all of you.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah, thanks so much. At the art school, like I said, facilities and faculty are the biggest deciding factors for our students and parents. So we offer tours 5 times a week. We offer lots of opportunity to meet with our faculty. I can barely keep them off the phones, as a matter of fact. So if anybody wants to contact me, set up a tour, sit in on a class, go to lunch with my student workers, we can make it happen instantaneously. So please reach out. I'm happy to help.
Thank you. And Hillary.
Yes, so we're fortunate to have super engaged faculty as well. I think that's what makes faculty want to come in and teach at Willamette, right? Is that they really love teaching and they really want to get involved. And very happy to work with prospective students at any stage in their journey, whatever year they're in, and very happy to connect folks with faculty as needed too. So thank you.
Well, that wraps it up for us. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We hope that you have gotten a lot of information, almost too much information about all of the wonderful opportunities here at Willamette and PNCA for your students and others to continue on in their education. And again, we hope that you will join us next month on March 20th, where we will be talking about civic engagement at Willamette with Dr. Tommy Van Cleve. And from there, just again, let me thank our panelists for their time, their expertise, and they hope to hear from you soon. Take care, everyone, and have a lovely evening.